Pete Moore. Welcome to PCM Guns. Okay, most of the guys you know me over the years from the magazines know I'm more of a rifleman than a shotgunner, but like most people, I've got a shotgun or two. I'm not great with it. When I practice I get better, but I don't practice enough. However, in this day and age, if you're a hunter or if you just want to break some clays, but you're not like mad keen about shotgunning and all the minutiae, then probably the most popular choice is a semi-automatic. Because they're well priced, easy to shoot, and I prefer repeaters. And there's lots to choose from. You can get things like Benellis, Berettas, Brownings, and they're, you know, £1 grand. Some of the top stuff is £2 grand, maybe more. A lot of money. Edgar Brothers, who have been with us seemingly forever, have a strong association with the Turkish gun making industry. They first came to our attention with Hatsan in pumps and autos, and they offered a cost-effective shotgun for many needs, and the Hatsan's a good gun, no question. And what they've got today is what they call their EB range of guns. It's called the Blackthorn, and it's made by a Turkish company called Hugalu, who've probably got the same sort of rep as Hatsan, so quality is good. And they make 3 models, and they're all aimed at people like me who want a semi, not a knockabout gun, but say a gun you can shoot pigeons with. You can go and, you know, shoot whatever you want with it, really, including clay pigeon and this sort of thing, for a very good price. Prices ballpark range between around about 400, around about 550 between what you've got in the range, which I think is very, very attractive. On test is what they call the bronze wood. This looks like a Cerakote style finish in bronze and a wood stock. But the gun is, in its own way, I don't mean to be disparaging, it's unremarkable. It's a modern semi-auto. The rest of it has been established for many years, perhaps by the Remington 1100 to start with. It's a gas piston system rather than a recoil, and I still think gas piston is probably still the most popular. The recoil is certainly gaining ground, and it's a simple gun. Basically, got a bolt release catch there. Naturally, the gun holds open after the last round's been fired. You have a crossbolt safety here. Push left to right for safe, right to left for fire. It sits under the finger, so it's reasonably easy to operate. Loading is by a gate here. Just run the shells in, and this is slotted. If a shell runs back, you can get something and then push it back. Wood is, I imagine, as it's Turkish, walnut. It's not an amazing piece of walnut, but then again, for about 450, 500, you can't expect too much, but it's nice. It's textured here and here for grip. It's a little bit soft. I'd prefer something slightly more aggressive. The barrel's got a tapered vent rib on it, and it's got a single bead up front, a red high-vis bead. A lot of guns have another bead back here, but that seems to work. But when we get down to take it apart, it has a couple of surprises for us. But that's pretty much it. It looks to be a handy gun. I patterned it a few days ago, and the patterns were most impressive. You'll see, we'll discuss the patterns later on as well. So let's just talk about generic guns. There's 3 in the range. There's this bronze wood with walnut. There's 2 synthetics. There's a black one, which is the cheapest gun, which is all black finish, and then you get the which is called the bronze camo, because it's still got the same bronze action, and it's mossy oak bottomland. And the 2 synthetic guns, they come at 14 inches length of pull, and there's a spacer in the box that brings it up to 14.5 inches. Whereas the wooden gun, the length of pull is fixed, that's 14.75 inches. I mean, that's a generous length, but I thought maybe they might have included spacers to juggle around with length of pull, but they don't. They also don't include shims here that most guns do, where you can actually adjust the cast of the stock and the angle of the stock. Okay, essentially, it's the same gun. All got 20-inch barrels, all 3-inch Magnum, all steel proofed, which is good. It's really more the cosmetics. You get set of chokes, 5 in all, and a choke key, which is nice to have, always useful. You get cylinder, improved, full, improved cylinder, and half. I put half in this, and I think that's what I pretty much use for everything, because when we do the patterning, the patterns are quite good, regardless of the fact that it's a little bit high and left. They are quite good, density in the middle, and very good for cracking clays or knocking down birds. Easy peasy. The action is gas piston, and what they do is they use a floating piston, which is this here, that goes into the gas shroud here. It comes with one, what they call the standard piston, which is for all normal non-magnum loads, and this is called, it says the heavy loads on here, and that is what you could call a magnum piston, which is for your snottier cartridges. They're totally interchangeable, it's very easy to do. Another unusual thing about the gun, which I've never seen before in a semi-auto, I must admit, is that in most cases this is the end cap which holds the fore end on, which is standard manufacture for any semi, and it does, the one cap does both jobs. Barrel stays in position and the fore end stays where it is. Hoogaloo have decided they're not going to do that. This here, collar, call it what you will, is what retains the barrel. The magazine tube is threaded and it goes on, and if you listen, it clicks. There's a detent in there. You just wind it up tight with your fingers and that's fine. The barrel is set where it should be. It won't move because the vibrations will not be able to overcome the detent. However, the detent in here is quite small to look at. You can barely see it. So if you not aware, it is possible to take that off, because it comes off, you just unscrew it off here and here to get the barrel off, obviously. And it's possible to put this ring in back to front, which means if it's tight, then it should resist firing vibrations, but because it's not locked by a detent, it probably won't, and then you'll have a problem with headspace and all sorts of trouble. So make sure that when you put this in, see where the detent is, and the detent faces towards the receiver, and as I said before, it clicks, you can hear it clicking, so you wind it tight, and you're done, and everything's gonna be fine. And then you put the fore end on, and then you put the end cap on. Okay, let's get some rounds down range. Just to let you know, this gun is what we call section 2, which means it has a limited magazine capacity of 2 plus 1 in the chamber, which makes it a shotgun on the shotgun certificate. This gun has got the lightweight piston in. Again, I've already discussed it before. I've tried with the heavyweight piston in, which is for heavier loads, and it doesn't cycle the lighter loads because there's obviously more resistance on the piston when it comes back. So far I've had everything using this in it. So if you're going to shoot big magnums through it, then I think that obviously the heavy load piston is what you'd use. So, safety on. First round, drop it straight in, press the button, chambered. Ready to go. Okay, that's good enough. Safety back on, press the button. So these are number 6s in a 28 format. Pleasant to shoot, not too much boot and bang. So there you have it. It's handy. It shoots well enough. A little bit of gun fit maybe could shoot better in terms of accuracy, but when you see the patterns, I think you'll be a little bit impressed. Okay, first pattern is Ely Pigeon Select number 6, 30 grams, so sort of a mid-weight cartridge as such. As you can see, that's the point of aim. I would say 60 to 70% of these pellets are in the kill zone. A little bit high with a few outside. You've got some good body shots here, head shots, wing shots and things to bring it down. What's most noticeable is that it's shooting slightly high and slightly left. And as we shall see, that's the same with all the patterns, which leads me to think that its gun fit is often the problem with a shotgun. if you're pointing in the middle and the gun's not shooting in the middle, then the chances are it needs sort of maybe a few shins to change the angle or the cast of the stock a little bit. Next up is another good hunting load. It's the Prima number 5, 28 grams, so perhaps not as much pellet weight, but bigger pellets, which can be good bone breakers. As with the Ely pigeon load, again, it's shooting high and ever so slightly left. But again, you can see this is the K zone here. Probably again, there's 60% of the pellets, maybe a bit more, in the K zone. As you can see, there's plenty of pellets there for the bird to fly into, with perhaps a few more on the outside, but overall, a nice little pattern. Leaving the best to last is a pure clay busting load, Ely Superb, number 7, 28 gram. So lots of smaller shot, reasonably light, not light, but medium load, easy to shoot, and it's just got to break clays. As you can see, with almost zero exceptions, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything is in the K zone. And if you look at, again, coming here, it's very tight here, and there is still the slight up and left bias to it, but again, I said that's gun fit. But this is what you expect from a good competition load. Needly do make some good stuff. So, to my inexperienced shotgun eyes, then the Blackthorn could do equally well on the clay range with the right ammo as it could out in the field busting pigeons or whatever you can do with it. And that is pretty much the gun. No real complaints about it. I said just be aware of this barrel locking ring. It's not a problem. I think I quite like the idea of actually having a separate barrel locking ring, because though I've never had a problem with the semi-auto, when you think about it, when this main end cap has the double job of holding on a forend and also holding the barrel against firing shock, then perhaps, though this is a bit more of a pain to take apart because you've got to take that thing off and be aware of the positioning of that ring with the detent facing towards the receiver, it's actually quite a good belt and braces idea, and it does give you a feeling of security. So overall, I've got to say, for the money, say maximum price is I think $5.50, and that's for the camo bronze. This sits in the middle, I think is around about $5, and the synthetics about $4.25 or something like that. It's a handy gun. It feels a little bit nose heavy. It functions well, so as long as you've got the right piston, it will function all day long. Recoil's good. It has the potential to shoot well, as the patterning title will show you. And if you're in the market for a well-priced semi-auto shotgun, I mean, okay, it wouldn't perhaps be as fancy as a Beretta or a Benelli or a Browning, but if you're like me, you want a sort of, not a knockabout gun, but a gun that's going to do everything for you. If you're not primarily a shotgunner, then I can see nothing wrong with this gun at all. You know, it's in this day and age when everything's getting expensive, and you look at the prices of some of these, you know, the European shotguns, and you shudder, because end of the day, they all do the same thing. And I've shot Benellis and Berettas and Brownings that haven't patterned any better than that, apart from the fact I could adjust the gun fit. And if you're a casual shotgunner and want to get a semi, then I would actually heartily recommend this gun, I really would. So, if you enjoyed that, tell your mates. As ever, tell me pmoore.shootingsports@gmail.com, and we have much more stuff coming, and hopefully a few more different shotguns to come, which is great. Thanks for looking in, thanks for supporting the channel, much appreciated. And as always, have fun, shoot safe, be safe. I'll catch you later.